So, I guess I main Young Link in secondary Roy. Okay, listen, sometimes in life, okay, you have to do things that seem a little bit, out of the ordinary. Okay, you have to make a decision that's a little bit bold, a little bit different. And even if in your heart of hearts you know that you're probably not going to stick it through with whatever you're doing, you need to have a different view of things. You have to see things from a different perspective, right? So I decided, basically, I realized that Young Link was going to have a lot of fundamental necessities that I was really lacking if I'm going to be able to play him at a top level. Especially when I play it or watch Toast, I definitely feel like his fundamentals carrying him throughout matches. Whereas I always had to rely on hitting some kind of crazy setup, some kind of crazy trap, which is a good strategy to an extent, and it will get you to a certain point. But when consistency is on the line, when your career is definitely, needing to be pushed to the next level, when you have certain goals, in-game, out-of-game, etc., whatever. I would say for me especially, I wanted to be able to control my emotions better. I wanted to be able to rely on my emotional state the day of a tournament, the time of the match, after bad things would happen in a game or after I would lose sets, etc. I want to be able to maintain a clear mind and have a straight vision. So I wanted to simplify things a little bit for myself. And I played Diddy Kong for the first ever time on Elite Smash one day, and I was just actually hitting fucking clips every single game. It was crazy. So then I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna main Diddy, and wow, holy shit, Tweek mains Diddy. I forgot. I learned everything I know about top level Smash and how to play the game correctly from Tweek. And then I started remembering all these things he told me that I didn't understand at the time. Same with Cosmos. And all of it kind of started clicking day after day after day, and I really fell in love and got addicted to this process of rediscovering or kind of being able to finally understand what top level Smash was, I guess, in a way, philosophically and in game, skill wise, fundamentals wise, what was really going on that made certain people win way more often than others. Well, it turned out, it's not that Diddy wasn't the one necessarily, but what I've come to realize at this point is that it was not really a character problem at all. It was more so a fundamentals problem. And a lot of people, when you learn the game through a certain lens, which is your character's strengths and weaknesses, it can definitely create a lot of good and bad habits. That's going to be a really big difference maker when it comes to high level, week after week in these brackets, grinding it out. Who has the ability to win without having to do something different or without their opponent having to make a mistake first. Now, when it comes to Young Link, for me, I became way too aggressive because I was trying to overcompensate for the flaws of the character, which I felt were, lacking range, lacking kind of that ability to fight in the burst range that most characters will be playing neutral at. So I became really, really good at playing in that range. What I realized that I was missing was the ability to allow the game to develop in front of me, react to my opponent, and be able to choose options based off the risk and reward without having to think about it. And there's only one real way to do that, and it's to practice the game while consciously developing the skill of being able to react and decide faster and faster, and always being able to adapt that to what your opponent is also changing about their play during the match. And also become very trusting and confident in their own intuition, which is a whole nother big part of it. But the main point I'm trying to make here today in this car ranting in the Sheetz parking lot on the way to my girlfriend's house video is that character is not really that important. I really do implore you to try playing the game with another character. Take it really seriously. Maybe even use a few different characters like I did. I mean, shit, I probably had 9-10 mains by the end of this little experiment. But really do take it seriously and believe that you're going to main that character. Manifest it, if you will. Astral project on, okay, no, I'm kidding. But, take it seriously and act like you really are maining that character. Don't use it as an excuse to fall back on. Don't let other people downplay their achievement if they beat you, because, you know, just make sure you're pretty adamant about it being the character that you're going to be using in tournament. See what happens. And if you really go in with the right mentality, you might learn something that you could never have learned if you never had that experience of trying a different character. And whether or not you stick it out with that character, go to a different character, or return to your main, I will say that it can almost always be considered beneficial to switch off of your main for a little while and try to really develop one of the fundamental skills that your main carries you through. And that requires, you know, you being honest with yourself as a player. What does my main carry me through? And try to be willing to, you know, sacrifice winning in the short term so you can learn and then win in the long term consistently, because I promise you winning is a lot of fun. But if you win just so that you can have that moment of glory, you're always gonna feel that really sharp pain and sadness and questioning yourself and the doubt and the pressure whenever it comes to a moment that is not so great in your favor. In bracket, take my word for that. It's been many years it took me to learn a lesson of, like, you don't have to be in the fetal position in the corner of some hotel balcony crying, wondering if you're gonna go to college, whatever the hell it is, you know what I mean? Hope none of that guy that just got out of his car heard any of that. Regardless, I will say this, I hope you all have a great day. Make sure, keep grinding, keep going, seek help. You know, it's not a single player game, even though it's a single player esport. There's been so many people out there trying to get better at the game, so many resources, people to talk to, questions that can be asked. Just make sure that you're always staying curious and you're always doing it for the love of the game, and then you really can't fail. I promise you that. I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's your boy Colinies. Let me know if you want more of these kind of videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.